Our story takes place at the private academy of St. Gloria, a prestigious school run by a church foundation. It's a real paradise for people. Students are accepted based on entrance exams, regardless of their background. This school has strict rules and strange things happen. Everyone is curious about what is written on the mysterious note that fell out of the student's pocket. There was something here that did not correspond to the atmosphere of the school, as indicated in the note. The note states that one of the student council presidents disappeared during some kind of ritual. Our heroine, Melody, is looking for her brother, who disappeared within the walls of the academy. Her search leads her to an anonymous forum where students write about things that are even paranormal. Many of the rumors in this school concern paranormal phenomena, and they are of interest to the main character. Melody is intrigued by the mysterious ritual and is looking for everything connected to it. Do you know the truth about those when our story takes place? We will tell you about them. No one knows what secrets the Academy of St. Gloria hides, and our heroine is determined to find them out. She promises that she will save her brother, even if it costs her life and everything she can give. Night falls, the academy is illuminated by a white moon, which is like someone's eye, and a croaking raven seems to be watching everything. The moon grows brighter, the trees cast ominous shadows, and the crow seems like a real demon. Just 1 hour along a deserted trail, and the result is worth the candle. The winding road on the map, an hour long, leads our heroine to her cherished goal. Our story begins in the quiet and lovely village of Chessword. Among the modest houses, a lonely mansion rises. We meet Melody, the heroine of this manhwa, who is a resident of this quiet village. Melody Hastings is a charming young girl who works as a maid in the mansion. She works hard and says that the rest of the staff in this house are elderly people. So while the old people are sleeping, she, the only young servant in the house, works hard. Melody isn't very happy with her job. She's constantly having to tidy up everything Lady Lanat has done. Lady Lanat, the mistress of the house, loves to turn everything upside down, and Melody is constantly cleaning up after her. Melody has been working here for several years now, and fixing such tasks for her is not bad for a village maid. Melody's salary is enough to support her younger brother, Raven, a student at St. Gloria Academy. After their mother's death, Melody and her brother Raven were the only ones left in this world. It was then that Melody decided to take care of him forever and find a normal job. Raven was always a strange boy. He could see things that ordinary people could not. Melody is making herself lunch. She has a baguette and cheese with a fragrant pie for lunch. Melody believes that her lunch of cheese baguette and apple pie will be enough for the elderly servants of the house. The residents of the house did not eat anything due to meagre supplies, and Melody loves to cook for them. This is also her responsibility. Melody is worried about her little brother. The holidays at the academy are about to start, but her brother will not be coming back. The last time Melody's brother ordered her not to write him letters, he was going through a teenage crisis. Suddenly, a mysterious postman brings her a letter from her brother and knocks on the gate of the mansion. At first, Melody thinks the letter is for Lady Lanat and not her, and yes, she is Hastings. The postman lifts his black and battered hat and tells her that he has come to see her. The postman turns out to be a young man with dark hair and blue eyes, and there is something mystical about him. Melody finds it strange that such a young Ruxavian would come to visit her in a remote village. Melody was scared. What if she was facing a scammer who would then write off loans and a bunch of debts in her name? But the young man cheerfully hands her the letter and says that her thoughts are written on her face. Melody is surprised. She can't believe that she received the long-awaited letter from her brother. But the letter was indeed written in her name. Melody is surprised that her brother remembered her in some centuries. Melody anticipates that her brother's rebellious crisis is over and expects something good from the letter. But Melody is in for some bad news from her brother, who didn't even want to write her a letter. The brother accuses her of always wanting to get rid of him and asks why she sent him to this boarding school. Her brother accuses her of wanting only to work at a normal job and get rid of her brother by getting a good education and a job. Melody's brother also accuses her of wanting to take her place in the family and be the sole heir of the Hastings family. Her brother accuses her of wasting away at school day after day, and that maybe he will actually die here. Her brother also reproaches her that if one day he is gone, Melody will be to blame. He asks her to come to school urgently so as not to die, and Melody did not expect this from her brother. Melody didn't understand why Raven's letter was filled with such hatred towards her. The mysterious postman informs her that he will check the mailbox later for a reply. Melody is upset, and a number of questions are swarming in her head. Who is the mysterious postman, and why did Raven write such a letter? Melody wants to know if her brother really hates her that much to write a letter like that. Night falls. The modest mansion becomes dark, and not a single ray of light penetrates into it. Melody didn't have time to answer Raven's letter, but something happens during the night. A stranger comes to her, looking ominous because of the light cast by the candles. He tells her about Raven's death. The candles burn out one by one, leaving our heroine in pitch-black, ominous darkness. The valley is coloured at night. The rustling of trees begins with the singing of cicadas. The raven croaks, foreshadowing something terrible. Melody sits in the cemetery, leaning over her brother's grave and blaming herself for not coming to his aid in time. A chill pierces her, as if a living brother looms behind her, asking her to get up and live with his death. A chill runs through the heroine. Our heroine thinks that Raven is behind her. She turns around in the hope that she will see him. But there is no one behind. Only the grave cold cuts through the atmosphere, and the moon casts shadows of grave crosses. Melody thinks that she will find out about her brother's death. It seems too sudden and suspicious to her. It was then that Melody decided that she would enroll in St. Gloria Academy and find out the truth. After her mother's death, Melody blamed herself for not being able to do anything for her. Only her younger brother gave her the strength to live on and supported her when she was scared. Raven believes that his sister will replace his mother, and they will be able to continue their life's journey on their own. Melody's brother supports her. They must live as their mother wanted when she was alive. Melody saved money to support her brother, but now nothing will stop her. Melody makes a decision. She will find out what happened to her brother, because his death is too mysterious. Melody makes up her mind. She won't hesitate and will go to the academy immediately. An unexpected knock on the rotten door distracts Melody from her tasks, and she opens the door. On the threshold is a familiar young man who politely greets her and offers her a business. He cheerfully suggests that she agree to what he says, since it concerns her deceased brother. But Melody doesn't want to listen to him. She doesn't trust the handsome postman and is in a hurry. But the young man does not back down. He offers to help her and get her into the mysterious academy. Melody becomes uneasy. How does the young man know about her plans for the Academy of St. Gloria? But the boy smiles carefree and tells her that he is a student at St. Gloria Academy. It turns out that the young man is also the president of the Student Academy of St. Gloria and was acquainted with her brother. Melody doesn't know what to say. She's scared by the student council's sudden interest in her. But Melody is determined to find out what's wrong with her brother, and she asks the postman to tell her everything. Melody asks him to wait a little. She wants to say goodbye to the mistress and her servants. The young man wants to ask her about the building. A cold gust of wind blows around them. He, looking at the mysterious building, asks her what she was doing in the mysterious mansion all this time. Melody explains to him that she is a maid and worked here every day, waiting for her paycheck. But the young man shocks her. There is no one in the village or in the mansion, and Melody lives alone in this village. Melody doesn't understand. If she's alone, then what has she been doing all this time, living in a ghost village? Melody can't believe what the young man told her. She clearly remembers the people and everyone who lived here. Melody believes that the young man is not a member of the student council, but a typical swindler, and that everything is a scam. She doesn't believe that a member of the student council would come all this way, and he seems suspicious to her. Melody wonders what the name of the new acquaintance who mysteriously appears before her is. The young man takes off his hat and introduces himself to her. His name is Eglantine. Melody claims that she is not afraid of what the young man did to her, and she is going to move on. Eglantine is surprised. He is shocked that Melody does not believe him. Melody says there were people in the village, and Eglantine is lying to her about everything he said. Eglantine reminds her that children don't play here when it's light out, and Melody realizes he's right. Eglantine reminds her that she never saw the children eat, and they never sent her parcels. Melody realizes that Eglantine is not lying. She has never seen life in this village. Melody tries to remind him that there are older people in the village, but Eglantine only laughs. Eglantine tells her that he had been searching for this village for a long time, and his only clue was the name written on the envelope. Melody is horrified. Could it be that she has been living in a ghost town all this time and was the only resident? Everything begins to seem strange to her, from the village to the people. Melody realizes that what Eglantine said was true. She didn't see a single living soul here. She is distracted from her gloomy thoughts by Eglantine, who asks her about her decision to enter the academy. Eglantine is also curious about what she would do if she could go back a year to the moment of Raven's death. Melody is shocked. Is it possible to go back a year to when her brother died? Melody sternly asks him why he mentions his brother in her presence. Eglantine promises her that if she joins forces with him, he will bring her back during her brother's death. He also smiles mysteriously and advises the confused girl to visit the academy. Melody decides to seize the opportunity to see Raven alive and well. Melody wants to know what led to her brother's death, and she would give anything for the opportunity to go back in time. Melody is worried about his death. He passed away too early, and his death is mysterious. Melody doesn't really believe in such a life. She doesn't believe that she will have to go back in time. Melody asks him what she will get if she saves Raven and goes to the academy, and if Eglantine will keep his word. Melody threatens Eglantine. She will not allow the mysterious boy to play with her feelings. Melody warns the guy not to play with her feelings. The boy looks surprised at first. He didn't expect this from Melody. But then he smiles. He realizes that she took him for a fraud and does not believe in time travel. Eglantine considers her a real thorn. She scares him, and he thinks about how to help her. Eglantine warns her to be careful and not to change anything in time, extending his strong hand to her. Eglantine casts a spell and warns her that the village's existence will change once she travels to the past. Eglantine advises Melody to flee the village, as it is inhabited by evil spirits. He warns her so that the villagers do not find out about Melody's existence. Melody wonders what will happen if the ghosts notice her, and Eglantine sighs tiredly. He says that she will then have no choice but to ask to be killed painlessly. Melody hesitates. She doesn't like the prospect of being killed by creepy ghosts. Eglantine warns her again. The girl has no time to think, and his magic is not eternal. Eglantine wonders what she will do now. Melody is scared. She doesn't want to die. Determination shines in Melody's green eyes, and she decides to accept Eglantine's offer. Without thinking, Melody takes Eglantine's hand in hers and waits for him to begin his spell. Thus begins the 27th of October, year 902, at the Academy of St. Gloria. Eglantine uses his magic and he travels back in time with Melody. Eglantine sits and looks out at the academy from his window. Something catches his eye. Eglantine is asked what caught his attention, what he saw in the gloomy facades of the academy. Eglantine is the student council president, and he tells his assistant, Easton, not to worry. He and Easton begin to discuss today's materials, and Easton confirms that they are compiled correctly. The newspaper headline says that the village of Chesswood was destroyed, and it's all very strange. Easton asks to change his lecture partner. He doesn't like Raven, Melody's brother. Eglantine cheerfully tells him that she will not do anything and that he should change his attitude towards Raven. Easton feels uneasy, afraid of the strange Raven and his stories about ghosts. Easton doesn't like Raven because of the ghost village and asks to be reminded why they are investigating this case. Eglantine explains that the rumors about the missing village are connected to a school horror story. Eglantine looks at the newspaper, which shows his school and the forgotten village. Melody is also pictured. I wonder what she's doing on such a strange newspaper. Eglantine looks at the photo for a long time, looking closely at Melody's portrait. Eglantine explains that there is a cemetery of the forgotten behind the school, and that no one in the village will survive. At this time, Melody is cooking in the kitchen, and she suddenly remembers something, stopping cooking. Melody is surprised. She remembers the evening with Eglantine, and now the day and time outside the window have changed. Melody looks at the calendar. It is October 27th, 1902, All Hallows Eve. Melody is surprised. Eglantine actually made her go back a year. Melody calls out to an old and pleasant voice, and she turns to look at it, wondering who it could be. Mrs. Lannert approached Melody, and Melody came out of her thoughts about her brother's death. Lannert is a pleasant woman of about 50 in a cap, and she allows Melody to leave early today. Melody agreed with her that it was time for her to rest, but then stopped short, looking at the unbaked pie. She recalls Eglantine's words that she had never even seen the villagers eat. The old woman looks at the Melodies with horror, and her voice becomes creaky. The wind begins to howl outside the window. Lannert asks in his raspy voice what is wrong, and Melody feels uneasy. Eglantine warned her that time would change, and she would too, and the ghosts would notice. Melody decides to act as if nothing happened, saying she was just cooking dinner, but Lannert's gaze became cold, her eyes narrowed to small slits, and a deathly silence fell. Melody makes a fool of herself and asks Lannert again what she did wrong. Lannert becomes a sweet granny again, and she assures Melody that there will always be someone who will cook for her. Lannert places his old and wrinkled hand on Melody's sweet head, but she is already scared. The old woman speaks in an ominous voice to tell Melody to get more rest. A chill runs through Melody, sweat streams down her soft face, and she squeezes out a weak yes. Night falls and the Lannert mansion looks scary and ominous. Melody makes an escape attempt. She actively packs things into the luggage, remembering Eglantine's words. Lannert's sudden voice cuts through the darkness, becoming even more creaky and ominous, which frightens and alarms Melody. Melody tries to get out of it. She says that she can't come in and that she's only in her nightwear, but Lannert doesn't want to listen to her. Lannert hands her a strawberry pie with a pleasant aroma, and sweetly tells her that if she does not let him in, she will break down the door. Melody decides to prove Eglantine right. She invites Lannert to eat, but she politely declines. Lannert claims that she is already full. I wonder what she has already eaten. Human flesh. Melody takes the delicious-smelling pie from her hands, but her hands are trembling traitorously. Lannert tells her that it was her first time cooking, and she would be happy if Melody liked the pie. Melody is offered to poison herself with pie, but our heroine understands this and decides to eat it tomorrow. The strawberry pie looks harmless, but there's something clearly wrong with it, and the Melody senses it. Melody swears to her grandmother that she will eat tomorrow, that it is already late, and that her grandmother needs to go home. But the evil old lady is not going to go home. Her face ends up a few centimeters from Melody's face. In a sinister voice, Grandma asks why Melody isn't eating, and her eyes are bulging out of their sockets like she's crazy. The old woman looks angrily at Melody and mutters some unrelated nonsense. Melody doesn't understand why the kind grandmother has changed so much. Grandma sing-songs and ominously whispers some nonsense about Melody's death, like the end is just the beginning. Melody is scared. She looks into her grandmother's eyes, in which red veins are visible, and the eyes themselves have turned yellow. Melody sees her reflection in her eyes, and she is scared. She recoiled from her grandmother in horror. Grandma tells her in a normal, everyday tone that she needs to go to the bathroom. But as soon as she moves away from Melody, her neck begins to twist and turn 360 degrees. Melody watches in horror as her grandmother's head slowly and crunches towards her. Melody looks at her grandmother, who stands frozen in the moonlight with her head turned unrealistically. Melody remembers the words Eglantine told her and decides to run away from the village. Eglantine warned her to leave the village immediately, otherwise the ghosts would kill her when they found out she had changed the past. Melody realizes that everything Eglantine said is true, and she decides to run away from the cursed village as quickly as possible. Melody desperately remembers when everyone has quiet time and when all the villagers should logically be sleeping after a terrible night. Melody decides to remain calm and act as usual, but the lights in the mansion suddenly start turning on by themselves. Melody is determined to find out what is happening in the village and how it is connected to Raven. The next day comes, but the mansion is far from calm, just like ancient chessweed. Melody looks in horror at the pie that her grandmother brought her, and she covers her mouth in disgust. She's going to throw up. The pie has turned into a pool of blood, from which rotten and crooked fingers are peeking out, on which blood flies are already landing. Melody decides to run away. She understands that Eglantine did not lie to her, and everything here is true. Melody passes by the mirror in the living room, and something in it catches her eye. Melody is surprised. She has a star-shaped spot under her eye, and she needs to know what it means. Eglantine warned her that she would be marked when she returned to the past, giving her eyes that could see the unusual. Melody decides that she shouldn't worry about what Eglantine said and takes 2 packs of paint with her. Melody decides to mark the doors with red paint, since ghosts cannot distinguish this color. Melody gets to work, believing that the red paint will ward off ghosts. Melody, like in the movie The Prince of Egypt, marks the doors with red paint to protect her. I wonder if it's lamb's blood. Melody thinks she is finished and looks with pleasure at the work she has done. Melody decides to hide. No one should know that she is going to escape from the mansion. Melody decides to hold out until everyone has quiet time and goes to bed. Melody stands in front of the door, one thought on her mind. When will this fool leave the sinister mansion? The maids come up to her and surround her, asking how she is doing and what she is doing here, why she is not working. Melody greets them politely, a typical blonde, right on the face. Melody assures the servants that she will work as hard as she can. But ominous music and a nasty crunching sound are heard, and the neck of one of the maids slowly turns towards her. The same thing happens to the other maids. Their necks bend unnaturally, and their eyes bulge out of their sockets. The maids repeat something about the earth like a prayer, and say that some Diramele will rise from the dead. Melody is clearly uneasy from their ominous whispers, the stench of death, the crunch of bones and voices repeating strange words. Eglantine warned her that ghost stories were about the unknown world and that they came from another world. Melody decides to behave in such a way that the nightmare ghosts do not kill her and that they do not eat her. Melody decides to act naturally, and this fool announces her decision to go to school to visit her brother. But the zombie apocalypse continues, and the ghosts slowly and hesitantly approach her, surrounding her. The maids return to their normal appearance and advise her to go to her brother. Melody says she's going to see her brother, and the maids ask her to say hello to Raven. Melody wants to see the ice of Laneth, but someone grabs her from behind with brute force and pulls her back. Lanat, in a changed voice, tells her that she heard everything and allows her to see her brother. Melody feels uneasy and slowly turns towards the old woman who is holding her tightly in her arms. The old woman squeezes Melody tighter and tighter, and you can already hear the poor maid's bones cracking. The old woman, with a creepy voice and a crazy look, asks her if Melody still wants to run away. Eglantine warned our heroine so that no one would guess that she wanted to run away. The village is mysterious, and it is very difficult to escape from it. Our heroine does not know what to do. Our heroine needs to exit through the door she marked with red paint, and then she won't be killed. Melody hears the eerie voice of an old woman asking in an ominous whisper if she wants to escape. The old woman clung to Melody so tightly that she couldn't even breathe. She had to run away from her grandmother. Melody decides to blend in with the ghosts to avoid being caught and killed or eaten alive. You remember that pie? Melody makes a decision. She will survive, no matter what the cost. Melody says something in Latin, which Grandma also repeated. Grandma's eyes are spinning in their sockets, red veins are visible. She freezes in front of the Melody as if crazy. She has a reaction to Melody's words and slowly releases her steely embrace. Melody begs very hard to let her go. Ghosts surround her from all sides. Melody decides this is her chance to pass the message on to one person. Grandma's neck snaps again. A disgusting crunch of bones is heard. Her eyes roll back in her head. The old woman throws her head back and crawls across the floor in terrible convulsions. The ghosts repeat words in Latin and attack Melody like zombies. We have the walking dead. Melody is terrified. She doesn't know the meaning of the words in Latin, and thinks that she has made the situation worse. Hands keep reaching out to her. Melody dodges their crooked fingers, she repeats after the ghosts. Melody takes a quick step back, the floorboards creaking loudly beneath her feet. Blood flows down the faces of the ghosts. They become blacker than the night, and they are looking for some Jeremel. They can't enter the door marked in red. Our heroine still has a little bit left to reach it. Melody can see the entrance to the house, but she can't reach it. She decides to take measures to prevent the ghosts from touching her. Melody remembers that she painted a red cross on the door to ward off nightmare ghosts. Melody wants to escape through the entrance to the mansion, but how can she do this when she is surrounded by crowds of the dead? Suddenly, the heroine hears a rustling sound. A small black paw has crossed the threshold of the nightmare house. A black cat with blue eyes, who escaped from Sailor Moon, comes up to her and shows her how to get out of here. The cat runs away again, showing her the safe way to the entrance. The heroine feels like the mysterious cat wants Melody to follow her. Melody sees a conspiracy everywhere. She believes that the cat is also part of the trap of the creepy walking dead. The cat shows with its tail that just a little more and the ghosts will eat our Melody alive if she doesn't hurry. The ghosts crack their necks and tilt their heads back, slowly turning them towards Melody. Some of the ghosts' hands reach out to her, covered in the blood of those they killed before her. Melody jumps away from them, but how long can she hold out like that? Melody decides to go to the entrance of the mansion at any cost. Melody notices something. She sees something creepy that hides the nightmare house. Melody realizes that the house around her has changed. There is more dust and cobwebs. The house has become even gloomier than before. Melody realizes that she is in the house of the village chief of Cheswick. Melody doesn't understand. She obviously walked through the entrance to the nightmare house. How did she end up in another house? A fluffy and long tail, similar to a black snake, wraps around Melody's arm and she looks down. Next to her is a black cat, who clearly wants to be her guide in yet another creepy house. Melody believes that the mysterious cat wants to help her escape from the cursed house. There are even more dead people here. Almost all the inhabitants of the cursed village are here. Scarlet blood drips from their mouths, and Melody wonders what kind of stinking thing they are eating, that they are all gathered in such a crowd. Melody realizes that she knows every single person in the village, and is sad that she is the only one alive here. She remembers the cheerful village elder with a wide-brimmed hat and a hoe, and she also remembers the kind old women. She also remembers the mustachioed man who invited her to have dinner together. Melody remembers the lively atmosphere in the village and can't believe that it's all a lie. The living dead are eating something with a disgusting chomping sound. They are all covered in blood and repeat words in Latin with their booming voices. Through the unintelligible and untranslated local lexicon, Melody understands that the ghosts are talking about her and are looking for her. Melody approaches the door. A crimson pool of blood is spreading at her feet. Melody hears creepy ghosts talking about her and her disappearance. People don't want to let her go and decide to catch Melody, whispering among themselves and discussing their plans. The dead men say they ran out of money and Melody could have gone anywhere. The dead think that after a year Melody could have remained here and begin to look for her. Thousands of eyes are staring at Melody and the dead are hungry. They just want to eat our heroine whole. Melody decides not to make a sound and closes her eyes in horror at her fate. The clock strikes 12 with a hum. It's almost noon. The dead sniff and try to find our heroine everywhere. One of the dead men stops next to Melody. The dead man smells of decay and she is about to grab Melody. The clock begins to strike noon with an incredible roar. Melody closes her eyes and decides to take a desperate step. Melody makes a dash. She's about to escape from the creepy dead. The dead discover her, stretching out their bony, long arms in an attempt to catch her. The hands of the dead with curved and broken nails are about to grab Melody, and in a little while she will be in their clutches. The dead surround Melody more and more. The smell of decay haunts her. Melody suddenly reaches for the curtain. It rips it open, and sunlight penetrates inside, falling on the ghosts. A minute later, the ghosts are gone, leaving only bloody footprints on the floor. The monsters stretch out their bloody hands towards her, and ominous whispers echo throughout the mansion. Melody is backed into a corner, desperately wondering where to go, her escape route cut off. Melody doesn't know what to do. She must fight the horde of walking dead at any cost. Melody's gaze suddenly fell on the blood slowly spreading beneath her feet. Melody believes that ghosts cannot see the color red. She squats down next to a pool of blood. It's unclear whether it's lamb's blood or just paint. Melody's thoughts come to an end. She makes a decision. Melody gets covered in red and now looks like Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, only covered in blood. Melody decides to back away like a crab and slowly walk around the ghosts. Melody's steps are getting quieter and quieter, but the monsters are repeating about some Gigatilio Jeremel. The monsters retreat back, and Melody, covered in blood, walks, pushing through this horde of ghosts. Melody finds it hard to breathe. The blood has been absorbed, and she inhales its scent. Suddenly, Melody's eyes are met with the long-awaited exit. Melody is glad she managed to push through the dead people who are looking for her and repeating Latin. Melody creaks open the exit door, but the ghosts don't seem to hear her. Melody is happy. She got out of the mansion safe and sound. But the place that appears before Melody is not a way out. Melody finds herself in some kind of corridor, quite spacious with a bunch of doors. Melody doesn't know where all these doors lead and decides to go out at random. She asks the cat if it knows where the exit is, but it only meows pitifully in response. Melody herself doesn't understand why she decided to talk to the cat. Suddenly the cat speaks to her in a melodic voice. She is glad that Melody was not killed and managed to escape. Melody is amazed. How can a cat talk? She is clearly going crazy. The cat says that if she interferes, she will get into trouble. Melody is shocked. The cat spoke to her, and now she doesn't know what to do next. She was not warned about this. The cat smiles sweetly at her and purrs that Melody wants to get out of here. The cat asks Melody to follow her, and she will show her the way out. Melody decides to go after the cat and opens the nearest door. Melody barely keeps up with her new friend, passing numerous corridors and doors. Kitty believes that Melody was loved by the villagers and that she is quite smart for a human. The magical cat thought Melody would be eaten. She couldn't even imagine that ghosts loved Melody and wouldn't do her much harm. Melody asks the cat who she is and why she saved her life by intervening if she was in trouble. The cat understands that Melody herself does not know where she got her amazing superpowers from. The cat leads her to a door marked with a red cross. Melody thinks she has no choice but to trust her new friend, as there are too many doors here. Among all the other doors, only the one with the red cross stands out. Melody makes up her mind and opens the mysterious door without hesitation. The heroine finds herself in a room full of various guests, all busy with their own affairs. The heroes look at our Melody. They speculate about what happened to her. Maybe she was doused with tomato juice or there was a murder. One of the women demands that our Malloy stop. The door she entered is not intended for students. She says that if she is registered, she can go straight to the dorm. But first, the girl is asked to wash herself as she smells of blood. In a second, cold water runs down it and the blood disappears. Our heroine still can't believe that all this isn't a dream. Someone decides to start a conversation with a girl, and she feels uneasy about how they treat her. Some boy noticed her dirty appearance. The one who spoke to her is Leonard Ramsworth, the son of the nobleman Ramsworth, and he wants to befriend our heroine. Melody meets Leonard, and a strong friendship develops between them. Leonardo thinks her last name Hastings sounds familiar. Leonard tries to remember where he heard the name, but nothing comes to mind. Leonard is sure he has heard this name before, but he just can't remember it. Melody finds herself at an exam where participants must complete a test, but if they cheat, they will be expelled. Melody decides to take the exam honestly without cheating. Luckily, there are a lot of exam questions, a lot of subjects, but none of them are difficult, and she copes with them. Melody is tormented by the question, what happened to Raven? Why did her brother change so abruptly here? Melody wasn't thinking about the test. She was thinking about Raven. Melody is praised for passing the exam and is invited to join the students. Melody is uncomfortable. She doesn't intend to study here. She only wants Raven. Melody asks about the cat that was with her, but it went somewhere. Maybe it was a stray cat. Melody reproaches the woman for leaving the cat in her care, but she doesn't know what to do. Melody thinks that everything is not so bad, she will find the cat no matter what. This was an unusual cat and she can take care of herself. And now Melody decides to throw all her efforts into searching for Raven. 70% of Gloria is herself, and the remaining 30 is a nice little village. If you walk past the main harbour, you will find yourself next to the central entrance. Melody is shocked. The academy seems unrealistically huge to her. Leonard calls out to her, he wants to go with her. Leonard asks her if she wants to leave things like this. Melody says the cat is a stray, so there's nothing to worry about. Leonard, on the contrary, believes that the cat needs her. Melody and Duru ask him if he knew the cat could talk, but he doesn't understand what she's talking about. Leonard turned it into a joke, but Melody clearly wasn't joking. One of the guards asks her to show her ID, but then the red-haired guy notices Leonard and is surprised by him. Leonard has been studying here for a long time, and for some reason he took the exams again. Melody asks them both if they go to this school. Leonard knows something, but he didn't want to deceive our Melody. The red-haired guy tells Melody that he studies in the second faculty of the disciplinary committee, and that he has a bad character. Melody decides to ask a question she has never asked anyone. Melody asks them if they know her brother, Raven. Leonard remembered from Melody's description where he had heard this name. Leonard is shocked how Melody knows Raven and how she is this madman's sister. All is calm in the academy. The sun's rays reflect off the roof, and the building itself is bathed in the sun's rays. Melody can't sleep. She's thinking about the academy tests. Leonard told her that Raven was planning to leave school after graduation. Leonard calls Raven the director's faithful dog and says that he is unlikely to leave the academy. The girl can't believe that her sweet Raven has become like this. Melody finds it all strange, even a letter from Raven written with such strong hatred. Melody wants to be with Raven, to support him. Melody realizes that if she wants to get in here, she needs money. Luckily, Melody has a couple of bucks to pay the bills. Melody decides to find a part-time job on the island. Melody notices that all the students are busy with something. Melody likes the quiet citizens on the island. But at the same time, she remembers the citizens of her village. Melody thinks that her people are no different from the people of Chessweed. Melody passes a nice house on the waterfront. Melody finds a cafe that needs an employee. Melody thinks she might come back today. Leonard meets Melody at the school's door and asks her what took her so long. Leonard tells her that he passed on all the messages to Raven. Leonard tells her that he didn't even believe that she was on the island. Melody is worried that Raven didn't believe her. Leonard wonders if she did something to anger Raven. Melody and Leonard don't know what to say to each other. Melody doesn't understand why, after going through so much hardship, Raven doesn't want to talk to her. Melody realizes that Raven is unlikely to believe what is happening. Leonard tells Melody that everything will work out and she can always count on him. Listening to his flirting, Melody understands that everything will be fine. Melody decides to pull herself together. She is grateful to Leonard. The clock strikes noon. It counts down the time. Melody is afraid that the test results will come out now. Leonard assures her that the tests are pointless. He comes first. But Melody ends up in first place and Leonard in second. Leonard was amazed. He was completely confident of his victory. The students whisper among themselves, now curious about who Melody is and how she is connected to Raven. Melody feels awkward with everyone looking at her. The teacher cheerfully invites Melody. They walk with Melody along long corridors that resemble an old library building. The teacher takes her to the principal and asks her not to worry. The teacher tries in every possible way to encourage her. Melody wonders what the principal will tell her and what's wrong with Raven. The director is not a young Victorian gentleman with a mustache and a monocle. He is waiting for Melody with a businesslike air. Melody is invited to come closer so that the director can take a look at her. He is curious about the high-achieving student. The director asks Melody what her name is. Melody tries to maintain her dignity and introduces herself to him. The director shocks her. Melody is the first to take a high place. Melody says she prepared diligently. The director is amazed. He remembers that he knew her brother. The director thinks that what could be better is that brother and sister are the best students of the Academy of St. Gloria. Melody tells him that she is grateful that he cares about his brother. The director is surprised. How does Melody know so much? The director has almost figured out our Melody. He knows that exchanging letters is not allowed. Leonard told her that Raven was the director's servant and a real character. Melody is in a panic. The director is about to figure her out. Melody tries to pretend that nothing happened. The director believes her lie that it is all rumors. The principal informs her that her name will be recorded in the school's heritage. The director advises her to sign up for the disciplinary council. Melody is surprised. She didn't expect such kindness from the director. The teacher advises Melody to accept the principal's decision. The principal reminds Melody that her brother is on the student council. The principal, who is the crush in this manhwa, believes that Melody will become an excellent student in the future. The teacher shows Melody the dormitory building. The teacher gives her a map of the campus with everything marked out. The teacher tells Melody that she will soon order things for Melody. Melody knows that a comfortable campus and the joys of student life await her for 4 years. The teacher believes that Melody sings well and will be able to join the choir that she directs. But Melody declines the offer. She has no ear for music. The teacher is shocked. How did this happen to Melody? The teacher is very upset. She expected this from Melody. The teacher apologizes for her excessive emotionality. Gloria School is named after the nun Saint Gloria. The curriculum includes Mass and the study of prayers. The teacher explains that the entire council and committee are members of the monastery and that they attend catechism classes. Melody is grateful to her for all the help she has given. The teacher wishes Melody all the best and leaves her alone. Melody wonders if the teacher will continue to communicate with her after hearing her sing. The clock slowly approaches evening, ticking ominously. Melody looks at her small pocket watch, realizing it's almost night. Melody decides to contact Raven the next day. But Melody doesn't know if Raven will agree to meet her. Melody thinks she's weak-willed, but she's come a long way. A familiar cat comes up to Melody and plaintively asks to be picked up. It's a little unclear whether it's a cat or a kitten, but either way, Melody is happy to see him. Looking at the cat, Melody remembers that this is the same cat who saved her from the village. Melody notices that the cat now has yellow eyes. Melody sees the sun setting and decides to hurry to campus. The cat clearly doesn't like the fact that Melody wants to leave as soon as possible. Melody invites the cat to go with her further away. Melody is curious about the time, so she picks up the cat and walks to campus. Melody is surprised. She thought it was 9 o'clock in the evening. The elevator slowly descends and shows her that she needs to go to the 3rd floor. Melody is perplexed. What is happening with time here, in this academy? Melody finds herself in front of number 512. She slowly inserts the key into the room's keyhole. Melody creaks the door open and enters her room. Melody sees that she is not alone in the room. There is a certain girlish figure in it, enthusiastically reading a book. Melody decides to be nice and say hello to her neighbor. The neighbor slowly lifts her head from the book and sighs. She slams the book shut with a loud bang, not liking the interruption to her reading. A beautiful dark-haired girl in a student council uniform is dissatisfied with Melody. In her opinion, commoners don't even know their place here. There is silence between the beautiful girl and Melody. Melody is perplexed. Is she really such a famous person that everyone knows her? Melody asks her in surprise how she knows that she is a commoner. Melody believes that nothing can be hidden from the gas aristocrats. Her neighbor tells her not to unpack. In the opinion of the beautiful girl, Melody will not stay here for long. Melody is surprised. She didn't expect such a rude neighbor. Melody tells her that she is glad to meet her neighbor. The naughty neighbor is surprised. Melody wants to meet her. The cat rubs against Melody's legs. She is simply adorable. Her black fur is shiny and her golden eyes sparkle. Even Melody's neighbor can't resist the cat's charm. Everyone loves cats. Melody pets the cat, and the neighbor can't help but look at the cat. She's enchanted by it. Finally, the neighbor breaks the silence, and Melody listens to her. The girl hides behind a book and shyly asks the cat's name. She looks at the cat and wants to pet it. The girl suggests Melody to name the cat Elizabeth. It is a very elegant and graceful name, just like the cat. But Melody wants to name the cat Blackie, since Elizabeth is an outdated name. The neighbor is outraged. How can you name a cat like that? The neighbor argues with Melody. It would be better to name the cat Elizabeth. Melody believes that the cat will now be their pet. Melody and the girl decide to keep the animal for themselves, and it seems the neighbor is making peace with the girl. Cats can see ghosts and drive them away. There are ghosts in the school, and Melody's neighbor is afraid of them and decides that a pet would not hurt. Melody asks why there is so much unrest at school. The girl asks Melody to stay in the apartment and asks her to come over. The girl is rummaging through some drawer. She wants to give Melody something. She finds a certain book that describes the history of the school. They open the book together and begin to read. The book contains ghost stories, such as a warning not to use the elevator in the women's dormitory. Melody is surprised that her neighbor really likes ghosts and even used the cursed elevator. Erica is very fond of the supernatural, and she checks everything in every possible way. She is looking for any sensational information about ghosts. Melody is surprised. Can't the priests cleanse the school of creepy ghosts, or do they not care? Father Caesar works here. Like the priest from The Exorcist, he performs exorcisms and kills monsters. Erica, the neighbor's name, believes that Father Caesar can exorcise any demon from the school, but he has a lot of worries. Melody is surprised. Is there really only one priest here? Erica explains that the principal believes that if too many exorcisms are performed here, it will harm the school. 7 years ago, the Vatican decided that it was necessary to start a war with the spirits, and they began to found church schools for this purpose. The academy is named after Saint Gloria, a nun who drove all the evil spirits to the island and sealed them away. Our heroine believes that there are other monks, like Father Miela, who fight demons. Melody asks our heroine to help her with the spirits that are haunting her and tells her everything. Erica falls silent, silently listening to her story about ice ghosts and blood and horrors. Erica decides to fight the monsters right away. Melody is surprised. She didn't expect such agility from Erica. Erica tells her that it will be very difficult to find Raven. Erica doesn't believe that Melody will stay at the school for long. In her opinion, commoners don't stay here for a long time. Erica tells her that Melody shouldn't say anything unnecessary. Erica is acting arrogant towards Melody again. Melody plays dumb. She regrets that she told Erica everything about the ghosts and she didn't believe her. Melody makes a plan of action for Raven. Melody thinks things won't be so easy with Raven. Melody has to resort to plan B. She decides to stay at school and look after Raven until better times. With plan B in mind, she falls asleep at her desk. In her sleep, she hears Erica discussing her. Leonard thinks about Melody. He is surprised that she surpassed him in the exams and wonders who she is and where she comes from. Some schoolgirls note that she is a real beauty. Melody will be asked to join the school committee, and everyone is eagerly awaiting her arrival. They want to accept Melody into the student council, but unfortunately all the places there are taken, and Melody will not be able to see Raven. Leonard thinks about Raven. He wonders how Melody is connected to Raven at all. They are so different. Leonard doesn't know how to tell Melody the truth about Raven. Leonard thinks that if Melody is accepted into the disciplinary committee, it will be very interesting. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and the clock chimes with a creaking sound. Melody barely wakes up. She is not ready for a new day. Melody fell into a deep sleep at the table. She can't get up. Her back is stiff, her legs are swollen and won't obey her. Melody decides to meet Raven so she doesn't have to. Meanwhile, her neighbor is playing with the cat and calls her not Blackie, but Elizabeth. She doesn't care about Melody. She is absorbed in the game. But suddenly Erica notices that Melody has woken up. She is very surprised, as if she expected to see Melody dead. Melody decides to go out and says goodbye to Blackie and her neighbor. Blackie looks at her carefully, as if she's expecting something creepy from her mistress and strange things at school. Melody notices that the cat is tired of Erica's presence and wants to go with her, with Melody, for a walk. Melody wonders if cats don't like to sit with her. Erica feels like an abandoned cat, and she loves cats so much that Melody decides to take her with her. Erica is very happy that Melody decides to take her with her. Erica arrogantly announces to Melody that she doesn't know the way to campus or the school at all, deciding to be her guide. Melody believes that Erica can't be honest with herself. Erica walks with Melody and asks her if she likes the academy. Melody tells her that she is looking for her brother. Erica is told about Raven Hastings. Erica is surprised. She thinks she knows about Raven. Raven came last semester and they are nothing alike. Erica tells her that Raven is very busy. When Erica comes to the student council committee, she finds no one there at all. A certain Sunbay asks them what happened here and who they are looking for. Melody notes that this school doesn't think about the authority of elders in the same way. Sunbay informs them that Raven is somewhere in the dorm. Erica and Melody go looking for Raven, who they suspect has been eaten by ghosts. Sunbay wonders who Melody is, but she's not here. Leonard haughtily tells them that Raven is not in the dorm. Leonard says that this room was cluttered and Raven is just a pig. He just up and disappeared. Leonard complains that Raven is a nightmare and he wishes he could find him. Melody is shocked. She is considered strange. She was in an old photograph of the village of Chessvid. Erica wonders if she knows Leonard. Leonard is shocked. Melody claims that she knows him for the first time. Leonard promises that he will find Raven no matter what. Erica decides to look for her brother together with her girlfriend. The heroine walks through the academy. All her thoughts are only about Raven. She is worried that her brother will not recognize her and there will be a scandal. When they enter the gym, there are poltergeist-infested basketball games going on. Erica says that the boy is not here and they need to move on. Judging by the sword, he was here recently. Melody asks Erica if Raven is avoiding her. Melody says she thinks Raven is avoiding her. Melody asks if Raven is doing well in school. Erica thinks that Aston knows more about him, but Erica reminds that Aston and Raven are not friends. Melody wonders if Raven will survive at this school and why he is feuding with Aston. Erica says she wasn't interested in the details. Melody isn't very happy that she shared it with her. If Melody keeps looking for Raven, nothing good will come of it. If they don't meet, then Plan A and Plan B are not feasible. Will the student council president be able to help Melody? Eglantine may not recognize her because they met in the future, but not in the past. Melody is upset. She thinks she won't succeed. Melody decides to get closer to Eglantine. She asks Erica about it. Melody tells Erica that she is looking for Raven and has contacted the student council president. Erica asks when she will go to the student council room. Melody wants to go, but she doesn't have time. Melody needs to get a uniform and notebooks for school. Erica asks when they can meet and go. Melody is greeted by the teacher, and she is happy to see Melody. The teacher believes that Melody will be able to sing soprano, but Melody disappoints her. She came for notebooks and a uniform. The teacher sees Melody rushing to find her brother. Erica is surprised. She didn't know Melody wanted to join the choir. Melody says she doesn't want to join the choir. She'll join the student council. Erica tells her that only people with high grades can get into the student council. Melody thinks she's a straight A student. Erica is surprised by her highest score on the exam. Erica can't believe she got a perfect score. The teacher is disappointed that Melody wants to live a boring life. Melody is allowed to do whatever she wants at school. Melody asks the teacher, but she is adamant. A minute later, Melody is enrolled in the choir and no one listens to her protests. Melody is given her notebooks and uniform to help her cope. The teacher tells Melody that she would be glad to see her in the choir. Melody wonders where Erica is a member, but she is not a member anywhere. Erica says that she doesn't need to be a member of any clubs. Erica says she will take matters into her own hands. Erica thinks she will be able to spend time with Melody. Erica says she will take care of Blackie. Erica thinks that Blackie is useful and she will feed her. Erica also plans to play with Blackie and not take time away from her. Melody wants to name the cat Blackie and take care of her. Melody also plans to take care of Erica and be her friend. Erica unexpectedly agrees and decides to become friends with Melody. Erica decides to tell Melody more about school. Leonard, meanwhile, can't get Melody out of his head. Melody looks like the girl in the newspaper photo. Leonard can't believe that Melody is Raven's sister. Leonard sees how annoyed Raven is. Leonard asks Raven why he doesn't want to see his sister. We are shown Raven. He looks very much like his sister. Leonard wonders why Raven is avoiding her sister. Leonard reminds him that Melody has been looking for Raven the whole time. Raven says he has a harder time maintaining his image. Raven knows that everyone thinks he's weird. Leonard immediately says that Raven is a real weirdo. Leonard and Raven are ready to clash with each other. Raven thinks that everyone can swear, and Leonard has changed too. Leonard says that he has changed enough and asks him not to say anything to his brother. Leonard suggests that Raven not talk at all. Leonard doesn't understand Raven. He watches him leave in silence. Leonard realizes that Raven only cares about school life. Raven hates physical contact with other students, and they find it weird. Leonard thinks he just wants to look decent in front of everyone. Leonard remembers meeting Raven. Raven then told him that he didn't need anyone and didn't want to see anyone. Leonard decides that he will talk to Raven next time. Suddenly, Leonard hears something strange about Raven. Leonard learns that something terrible happened in the girls' dormitory. Leonard asks what's going on in the dorm. Last night, a girl got stuck in an elevator. Leonard is horrified. He didn't expect this. The school has always been known for its mystical stories about ghosts. Now, last semester there were changes at school. Everyone remembers that a lot of things happened in the women's dorm last semester. Leonard thinks that all this is the work of creepy ghosts. We are shown a creepy elevator and a creepy black room. A hoarse voice asks everyone for help. The whisper becomes ominous. Blood is splattered across the room, and the voices are getting louder and louder. Melody and the teacher walk into a building that looks like Big Ben. The building is Johann's castle, where Melody will study, but it is full of ghosts. The teacher informs her that she has chosen 3 of the best applicants to study at this castle. But 2 other students were rejected after being admitted. Anyway, Melody is the only student here. Melody was enrolled in Class F, which was short of students. Melody wonders why there are no students in Class F. Students are placed into classes A, B, C, D depending on their test results. Class F is special. It is attended by artists. But there are fewer students there, as many transfer to other schools. Next year, Melody will be promoted to Class S based on her grades, and she will be the only one of her kind. But Melodia knows that she will not live to see this moment. She will leave school. Melody decides to save her brother at any cost. The teacher brings Melody to the classroom doors. They are huge, and it seems like they are about to swallow Melody up. The teacher cheerfully asks them how the students spent their summer. Melody notes that the teacher is surprisingly energetic. The teacher draws the students' attention to the new student. Melody sees that no one cares about her and is surprised that she is no longer a star. Melody thinks that since no one is interested in her, it will be easier. Melody feels the oppressive and gloomy atmosphere of school. The teacher asks Melody to say hello to the kids. The teacher herself feels uneasy about this atmosphere. Melody puts on her charm and is excited to meet the kids in her new class. Melody asks the guys to take care of her. Stupid and naive Melody, what is she counting on? But the guys are talking about her. They compare her to her strange brother. Rumors reach the students about how she appeared at school. Leonard listens to all this and he seems irritated. Leonard feels like Melody is just like her psycho brother. Out of nowhere, the green chair tips over right in front of her. Leonard knocked over a chair with a bang, attracting attention. The teacher is surprised. It seems this is not Leonard's first prank. Melody is surprised. Why is Leonard in this class? Melody thinks Leonard is into art too. Leonard invites her to sit in front of him with an innocent look, as if he had done nothing. Melody is tense and scared by the way her students treated her. Melody believes that Raven has distinguished himself quite well among ordinary students, and it will be extremely difficult for her. Melody sits down next to the sleeping boy, whose name is Wellington. Melody is curious about what kind of person he is, but he is fast asleep. Melody notices that Wellington is emitting some kind of black miasma, and that he is breathing hoarsely. He is dying. Melody is surprised. Is the black smoke coming from him the work of ghosts? Is the boy really possessed? But when Melody reaches out to him, the black smoke disappears. Melody pressed herself too tightly against Wellington, hoping to scare the black smoke away from the boy. Wellington wakes up abruptly. He had a very bad dream. Wellington suddenly wakes up and his head butts Melody, who came up from behind, and she is in great pain. The boy hit Melody hard and her nose started bleeding. Melody is in shock. The blood came not from the blow, but from the fact that she feels creepy ghosts here. Leonard asks Melody what's wrong with her, and he's genuinely worried about her. Wellington, the fool that he is, apologizes to Melody. He didn't mean to offend or hurt her. Wellington reaches into his pants pocket and asks Melody to wait a bit. Wellington presses a checkered handkerchief to her neat little nose, hoping it will stop the bleeding. Wellington is still sleepy and calls Melody blood melosis. Melody makes you want to laugh and cry. The guy is still sleepy and doesn't realize what he's saying. Melody says that the bell just rang, and the teacher will be back here soon to continue the lesson. Wellington tells her that Melody needs to see a doctor because the bleeding won't stop and is getting worse and worse. Leonard politely asks Melody if she needs help. Melody tells him no, that she can handle it herself. But Leonard had something in mind. A sly smile touched his thin lips, and he looked like a sly elf. Leonard abruptly pulls her towards him and hugs her, asking for forgiveness for her frivolity. Leonard picks her up and lifts the fragile girl onto his shoulders. Melody blushes. What is Leonard doing? Why did he do this? Leonard cheerfully tells her that she won't be able to go far with a nosebleed like that and decides to carry her. Leonard assures those present that he will explain everything to the teacher, and Melody simply needs to go to the medical center. Wellington is surprised. No one expected such behavior from Leonard, and he is behaving too strangely. Wellington tells the teacher that Leonard decided to take Melody to the infirmary, and she is worried about what happened to Melody. Melody is carried on her back and looks like she's about to throw up. Leonard asks Melody to be patient a little longer, and he does not stop and carries Melody on his back. Leonard thinks that Melody has a strange nosebleed, and he carries Melody carefully, not letting her fall. Leonard is wondering whether to let Melody go or not. Leonard asks Melody not to move and carries her further. Melody says the bleeding won't stop and it's only getting worse, and she can't stand not moving. Leonard laughs cheerfully and tells Melody that he will let her go. Leonard puts Melody down and tells her that she can walk to the infirmary on her own. Leonard informs her that the medical center is nearby and they will soon arrive at their destination. Leonard tells Melody it's time to go and leads her by the hand to the infirmary. Melody doesn't want to run away, but she is very surprised by Leonard's behavior. Melody thinks that Leonard doesn't need to hold her hand. Well, here is a dark and gloomy school with a ghost that slowly peeks out from under the door. Minnie appears. Casper and Melody is scared. Where else could there be ghosts here? Minnie Caspers surround her and they seem friendly. Melody asks Leonard if he has seen ghosts. Leonard is surprised. A ghost is hovering right above his head. The ghosts look like large white sheets with black slits for eyes, but Leonard can't see them. Leonard feels uneasy. He grabs Raven and takes Melody to the infirmary, dreaming of returning to class as soon as possible. Leonard takes her to the medical center and shouts at the whole medical center that she hit her head and is not thinking clearly. Leonard leads her to the couch, but there is no one in the medical room, so he decides to treat Melody himself. Leonard decides to heal Melody and asks her to sit on the bed. He removes the handkerchief from her nose and decides to look at her wound. Leonard is glad. The bleeding has stopped and Melody looks much better. Melody scolds him. They could have not waited for the medical center, but just sat where they were and everything would have passed. For a minute they sit and look at each other. They are waiting for something, but both are silent. Leonard tells her that he helped her because he was worried about her. Leonard tells her that the bleeding did not stop for a long time and he found it suspicious, so he decided to take care of her. Melody reassures him. She wasn't upset at all, but there was no need to make a fuss either. Melody thinks that he is worrying about her for nothing. She is fine. Leonard listens to her attentively and is disappointed. Melody clearly does not see that he likes her. Leonard suggests that she take some vitamins and get some treatment. Leonard thinks Melody will get better after taking vitamins. Melody goes into the corridor where small ghosts are flying and one of the students notices her. Melody thinks she's imagining things, but the ghosts are flying around and covering the entire school, attacking the new students. Melody is the only one who sees the cute ghost that escaped from the movie Casper. Melody remembers what Eglantine told her, who is better off being returned because he is top-notch, while Leonard is so-so. Eglantine told her that Melody would have a mark that would allow her to see spirits and things that were not visible. Melody is not happy with the fact that she will see ghosts for the rest of her life, but she has no other choice. Melody understands that the ghosts want to befriend her, and if this is the price for saving Raven, Melody is ready to pay it. Meanwhile, Leonard is worried about our heroine. He silently watches her, unaware of the ghosts. Leonard wonders if she still worries about the kids in her class. Leonard gently places his hand on her head, indicating that everything is okay. Leonard tries to be friendly and reassure Melody that she missed her first class. Melody is surprised by his gentle behavior, and Wellington notices them. Melody doesn't understand why Leonard is worried about her. He could hit her on the head. Wellington is surprised. He didn't think his neighbor would return. Melody thanks Wellington for the handkerchief and invites him to be her friend. The boy's name is abnormal, Dante Ibn Wellington, who even names a child that. The heroine is happy to introduce herself to him, and they quickly become friends with this sleepyhead. Melody apologizes for the ruined handkerchief, which became very dirty. Wellington blames himself for Melody getting hurt because of him. Melody reassures him that he didn't know he was hurting her. Melody says she'll wash the handkerchief. She didn't know Wellington was so worried about the situation. Wellington tells her that everything will be fine soon, and is glad that she has calmed down and is feeling better. We are shown a school building, illuminated by rays of light, and passions are boiling inside, yes. The school building is shown, and who knows what awaits the heroes ahead. Melody is glad school is over and her first day didn't go so badly. Melody decides to feed Blackie and wash her handkerchief. She notices a lonely figure in the distance. A lonely figure talks to itself, and this attracts Melody. The figure turns around in fear, dark hair and purple eyes. It's our Erica. Erica is clearly frightened by something. She is shaking all over. Her hands are barely clutching her briefcase. We are told about Erica's past. Her previous neighbor was interested in ghost stories and filled the girl's head with them. Erica and her friend are talking about the number cipher, a mysterious code used in the Bible. Erica sees that her friend is getting too carried away with ghost stories. The relationship between the neighbors was strange, but good. However, everything went wrong one day after another gloomy day at the academy. It was night. Erica was really angry. Where was her friend at such a late hour when everyone was already asleep? Erica doesn't see her faceless friend walking into her room looking gloomy. Erica looms menacingly over the girl. She even knows what time it is and how late she returned. But Elrose is scared. She has no face. She is pale as death and trembling like an aspen leaf, asking for help. Erica hears her barely audible whisper for help and wonders what happened to her cheerful neighbor. She is shaking all over and says that she saw him. She is very scared. She is almost crying. Erica's friend frantically pressed the elevator buttons as something chased her. Cold and slippery hands grabbed her. A wide smile pierced the ghost's mouth. Long hair almost hid her face. Elrose is scared. She is very scared. She has never encountered a creepy ghost thirsty for blood. The girl grabbed Erica's sleeves in case the ghost would come for her, in case it would spill Elrose's blood. Elrose looks straight at Erica with an unblinking gaze. She waits for Erica to save her. Erica asks her to let go and tell her everything is fine. Erica doesn't believe Elrose. Her friend has always been fascinated by numerous ghosts and could have made everything up. Erica denies Elrose's story. She believes that it is all nonsense and her friend is lying to her on the spot. Elrose makes a scary face. She asks Erica in a sepulchral voice if she doesn't believe her. Elrose stopped communicating with Erica and dropped out, leaving her a creepy note about the cursed elevator. Erica blames herself for not listening to her friend, who was kidnapped by ghosts, and the whole truth is in the women's dorm. Erica asks the student council why Elrose dropped out. Erica doesn't know what to say, how she will tell about her friend being kidnapped by creepy ghosts. All that was left of her friend was a creepy note warning her not to enter the girls' dorm. Erica informs the student council member that Elrose left nothing. The girl doesn't believe her. She feels that Erica is hiding something and is openly lying to her. The girl tells Erica that her silence will cause problems and that she is disappointed in Erica. Erica doesn't know what to do. Should she really have told about the creepy ghosts? And so we return to the moment when Erica met Melody. Melody reminds Erica a lot of her friend who went missing. Melody asks Erica directly what happened because her friend is extremely scared. Erica tries to reassure Melody that everything is fine, but it is clear that she is lying, and the past does not let Erica go. Erica lies to Melody, saying that she fell, but in reality, Melody reminds her a lot of Elrose. Erica invites Melody to go back to her room and forget everything like a bad dream. Our dumb blonde realizes that Erica is hiding something and decides to find out everything. Erica reminds Melody that if she stands there, she will leave without her. Melody decides to follow her, not knowing what awaits her ahead. Inside the school, there is a rather mystical atmosphere. There are statues of the Holy Mother, and the students wear the same uniform. Erica walks past numerous statues, feeling awkward among the students who have not forgiven her for her silence. Suddenly, someone distracts Erica, and she slowly turns around, her eyes wide in horror. The other girls from the student council approach them. This is the moment when the cool bitches bully the losers. They mock Erica, calling her a crow lady and out of touch. The girls argue about how Erica should get the Earl of Queensberry's estate, since she is Lady Crow. They call her a weirdo, gloomy and boring. Malloy is surprised. She thought that Erica was the star of the school. The red-haired girl coldly and arrogantly says that Erica has no place among them, that she is to blame for Elrose's disappearance. Erica is told how she can go to school without any problems after the incident with Elrose. Erica reminds the girl Sally, Anne Sutherland, that if she attacks her, she will be in trouble. But Sally and her friends find it all too childish and don't believe Erica's warning. Erica mocks Sally. She seems to be humiliating her, but she herself offered her an alliance, like with Elroy's. Sally is furious. She really isn't much different from Erica. Melody admires Erica. She likes her determination and courage, and the fact that she is the queen of this school. Erica doesn't seem like much of a bitch, but she won't let the cool girls bully her. Melody becomes curious about what they are talking about and what happened before they met her. Sally stops in front of her and asks who Melody is. Sally calls Melody Elrose's replacement, and she seems very innocent, but Erica is clearly offended by this. Sally leans closer to Melody and says that she will give her some sound advice about Erica. Sally turns Melody against Erica by telling her that she is a snake and a bad person at heart. Sally warns Melody not to be friends with Erica or she will get into trouble. Erica doesn't listen to Sally. She firmly believes that Melody is smart enough not to fall for Sally's lies. Melody is shocked. She doesn't know about Elrose, but she guesses that something strange is going on at school. She is rude to Sally, saying that it is impossible to close your ears because Sally is whispering in them, but she can. Sally was taken aback by such impudence towards her. Anyway, Melody beats Sally and she loses to Melody and Erica, looking dejected. Erica is having fun. Now it's Sally's turn to be silent and speechless. Sally can't say anything. She is amazed at Melody's impudence. Melody remembers how ghosts scared her, and she is not afraid of anything. Sally is angry with Melody. How dare some hen talk to her like that? Suddenly, Sally is distracted and stops arguing. Another girl comes into the room with a bunch of boxes in her hands and asks where to put them. Melody thinks it looks dangerous, and she watches the huge boxes. The girl walks straight towards them and plaintively asks them to step aside. Erica asks Melody to come with her. They have nothing to do here. The girl collides with the statue and flies straight to the floor. Melody rushes towards her, despite Erica's warnings that she doesn't want to talk to Sally. Melody runs up to Erica, who seems oblivious to the danger and continues to instruct Melody. Melody lunges at Erica, pushing her aside. They both fall to the floor as the statue is rocked by the boxes and the girl and topples over onto them. Just a little more, and Erica would have been crushed by the statue, which is now shattered into numerous pieces. The girls are scared. Rumors are spreading through the girls' dormitory that the ghosts have returned. Melody is unconscious, and Erica desperately calls for a doctor to help. Melody is approached by ghosts, her head is spinning and her nose is bleeding. Melody notices Blackie sitting nearby, but Blackie's eyes are different. They are no longer blue, they are slowly turning gold. The student council is scared, and they decide to team up with Erica and help Melody, who saved everyone from the statue. Many schoolgirls are whispering, is it really Sally's follower, Lady Lumi, who is to blame for everything? The schoolchildren are already gossiping about the closeness between Sally and Erica. Sally tries to reassure everyone that it was all just a coincidence. Sally says that she will go with Lady Lumi and will not linger here. Erica is furious. She felt like Sally was on her side, and she was practically strangling Melody with her handkerchief. Melody says she's fine and looks like she's in a hentai manga. Erica is annoyed that Melody can scare her so much. Blackie walks past them while Erica screams that Melody is bleeding and everything is bad. Sally is silent for a long time, but decides to approach Melody. Sally is scared. She didn't want to hurt an innocent person, just teach Erica a lesson. Erica yells at her. What kind of apologies can there be when Melody is ill? Erica is so worried about Melody that she stuffs her handkerchief too tightly into her nose and almost chokes Melody. Suddenly, someone comes up to them and cuts through the silence of what is happening here. Erica turns to the council for advice on how they are going to make up for this with Melody. Eglantine asks how he can help Melody on behalf of the student council. Eglantine is finally back, and we believe that there will be more mysticism in the manhwa now. Melody had really lost a lot of blood, and she didn't expect to see Eglantine here. Eglantine tells her that Melody needs to go to the hospital if she feels unwell. Melody didn't expect to meet Eglantine so quickly. Melody can't say if he remembers them meeting in 1903. Erica asks for help taking Melody to the hospital. Eglantine promises her that he will take the girl to the hospital. Eglantine approaches Melody. Their eyes touch, and he asks for forgiveness. Eglantine acts like a real guy. He picks up Melody and carries her to the hospital. Melody is shy, all eyes are on her, Erica is nervous, and she is being carried in arms. Erica asks Eglantine to be more serious and take Melody to the hospital as soon as possible. But Melody doesn't hear them. The voices calm her. Despite their anxiety, Melody loses consciousness. Melody gets worse and loses consciousness from blood loss. We are shown a creepy hospital with a bunch of items for tormenting patients. Melody slowly wakes up in the rays of the moon. A black shadow begins to talk to her, who turns out to be Blackie. But this time, Blackie has blue eyes, and Melody is surprised how they change so quickly. Melody is weak. She rises up on the bed on shaking elbows. One question worries Melody: what kind of creature is Blackie? Blackie tells Melody that it doesn't really matter what it is. Melody reminds her that it is important for her to know what a cat really is. Blackie asks Melody to look behind her, and she doesn't answer the question directly. As usual, intrigue. Melody looks back and wonders what the cat meant. Behind her is a window, behind which a bunch of cute privateers are huddled against the glass. Melody is amazed at how there are so many ghosts here. Blackie asks her if it's weird that these things are outside the hospital. Melody wonders if the cat can see them too, but then the ghosts slowly move away, leaving them alone. Melody wonders what kind of ghosts these are and where they came from. The cat tells her that evil spirits also live in the school. She reminds Melody of the ghosts in Chessweed. Melody remembers those creepy ghosts, and she tenses up immediately. Those ghosts that harm people are evil spirits and ghosts, but there are also harmless ghosts. Melody is curious why the school isn't doing anything to prevent this. The cat asks her if she would have believed in ghosts if she had not encountered them in the village. Melody is silent. She doesn't know what to say about the creepy ghosts. In times of technological advancement, talk of ghosts is considered to be ridiculous rumors. Melody decides to find out the truth, who Blackie is and how the cat knows about it. Melody doesn't know if she can trust Blackie after everything that's happened. Blackie smiles tenderly and tells her that she can trust her. Melody wonders what the cat means by the ghost story. Blackie says that in ghost stories, it's when people become victims of ghosts by accident. Melody thinks it's all nonsense, but she can't deny that something terrible is happening at the academy. Melody wonders how Blackie is so knowledgeable about creepy ghosts and knows so much about them. Blackie says she can tell you about ghosts because she can see them, and she's a cat. Melody realizes that Blackie is right, and there is nothing she can do about it. Blackie unexpectedly shows determination. She asks Melody to help seal the evil spirits. Melody is surprised how she can seal the spirits even if she can see them. Blackie tells her that ghosts are no longer relevant, and he has little faith in them, so they slowly disperse. Blackie asks Melody to help her, but how can you refuse a cutie like Blackie? Melody doesn't quite understand how she can help the cat seal the ghosts. Blackie warns Melody that if the spirits are not sealed, her friends may get hurt. Melody tells her that she is here for Raven. Blackie, with a maniacal smile, warns her that Raven will not leave school before graduation and will stay here forever. Melody is scared. How does the cat know this? Can't she rewrite the past? The cat mysteriously says who knows and leaves, ordering Melody to follow her. The cat hints that perhaps Raven is in danger and someone has brainwashed him. Blackie is a sly one. She makes a deal with Melody that if she helps, she will tell her more about Raven. Melody thinks this is all weird, but she agrees to help the cat. It's deep night. The silence is like in a crypt. A cold wind flutters the curtains in the hospital. Melody is determined. She asks what she can do. Morning comes quickly, and Melody is determined to help Blackie. Suddenly, someone calls out to Melody, and she slowly turns her pretty head towards the voice. This is Erica, who was all worried about her and didn't even sleep at night. Melody is grateful to her for her help and asks Erica not to worry so much, but she doesn't listen to her. She thinks that Melody is hiding something. Melody shocks Erica by revealing that the doctor asked her not to disturb her unless there are minor wounds. A new day begins and everyone goes to school to suffer through boring classes. Melody decides to have a serious talk with Erica about the ghosts at school. Erica asks her not to talk about it. She has had enough of Elrose and her obsession with ghosts in the past. In memory of Elrose, Erica collects everything related to ghosts and writes it down in a notebook. Melody finds out everything and decides to ask if Erica is really hated for Elrose and if it has anything to do with the ghosts. But then Melody realizes that she said too much, and Erica is not very comfortable answering such a question. Melody remembers Blackie's words about having to deal with the situation in the girls' dorm with the elevator. Melody decides that she must find out everything that is connected with the mysterious elevator. Blackie told her about the elevator, but she's not sure it's haunted. Blackie didn't believe that Melody would be able to leave the ghost village. Blackie believes she can count on Melody. Melody is puzzled as to how Blackie could trust her with such a dangerous, haunted building. Melody decides to ask Erica if she believes the cat's words. Erica looks at her like she's crazy and remains silent. She thinks Melody has been hit too hard. The academy sparkles in the rays of the sun, and it is hard to believe that ghosts live in it with its church atmosphere. Blackie rubs his face around Melody's legs without a care in the world. Melody is becoming increasingly curious about what kind of cat Blackie is. Erica is surprised. She thinks Melody has hurt her head. The weather suddenly deteriorates, the trees darken and the sky too, and the sounds of thunder are heard. We are shown the blackened castle of Johans, where our heroine studies, but it is not peaceful. They say that the castle is inhabited by evil spirits, which Gloria fought against, and the castle was her base. Melody stops in front of her school. The atmosphere was cold. Would Melody continue to be afraid because of the ghost incidents? Melody decides to be brave for Raven, and she enters a gloomy classroom where she is not welcome. Melody decides to be friendly and energetic like a teacher. But Melody is met with only a gloomy atmosphere and coldness. No one cares about her. For some reason, the students don't answer her, which is frightening. Melody sits down at her desk. She realizes that everything has become too dark and nightmarish. Melody decides that it won't be like in the novels where heroes were rejected in this way. But surprisingly, the lesson ended without any warning. Melody seemed to have become invisible. It has something to do with Raven. Melody is sad. No one gets close to her or talks to her. Suddenly, Leonard shouts at her, not understanding why she is behaving so depressingly. Melody is surprised. Did Leonard really wait to offend her? Leonard is surprised. How can he offend Melody? He tells her that she is a member of the committee, and the priest asked him to bring her to Mass. Melody is surprised. Does Father Miele really want something from her? Melody asks Leonard about Miele's father, who he is. Leonard explains that he hates spending time with the committee and is a terrible recluse. Melody is terrified. Will she really have to avoid the priest's eye? Melody realizes that it will be difficult for her to meet with the council members. Melody decides to resign from the disciplinary committee if they have a confrontation. Leonard says that Raven is also on the committee and student council. So they go to the annex, a gloomy building that is about to rot in the rain and has a greenish color. Leonard shows her the disciplinary council room and gives her a tour of the building. Melody is amazed by what she saw. She didn't expect to be here. A mysterious voice tells her that she is late. A dark-haired man with a blindfold asks them to come here. Miela also says that the new student needs to walk on the podium. Melody hesitantly climbs the steep stairs. She approaches Miela, and the council and committee members look at her. Melody doesn't understand how Miela knows she's the new student if his eyes are closed. Miela asks the committee members to introduce themselves and talks about Melody's success on the exam. Melody decides to be friendly and introduces herself to everyone who knows her. A young man wearing glasses looks at her in surprise. The committee members think Melody appears ignorant. Miela asks if Leonard told the girl about the committee. Melody wasn't told anything about the committee. She notices the guy with glasses. The boy looks like Shurik from The Adventures of Shurik, wearing glasses and a white suit. His name is Weston K. Laudale. Apparently he's a fourth year. Melody realizes that Raven's neighbor had the same last name. There were two of them on the committee, Weston, who was in his fourth year, and Raven, who was in his first year. Leonard mentioned that everything will be fine, and Weston is not such a bad guy. He is his older brother. Melody realized who Leonard was talking about and stared at the boy in surprise. Miela asks Melody to be more serious. He coughs warningly. Miela reminds her that there were no spots on the student council, and that's why she was accepted into the committee, not because of her grades. Last year, one student left the school and Melody took her place. Melody isn't particularly eager to get involved in the committee's affairs. She doesn't like it here anymore. Melody doesn't listen to Miela, who is talking quite a bit here. Melody thinks that if she doesn't really feel like it, then she definitely has to be here. Melody doesn't listen at all to Miela, who is going on about the council's activities. But then Miela shocks her by telling her that he is spying on the student council. Melody is shocked. She certainly didn't expect this from the committee. Melody is shocked. Is there really surveillance at school too? Melody can't believe Miela didn't seem that dangerous to her. Miela tells her that Father Caesar often goes against the rules. Melody realizes that Miela is right. He is keeping an eye on those who break the school rules. Melody decides to stay and monitor the council's activities, as this is her chance to catch Raven. Miela gathered them all today because he received news that the student council wanted to investigate the ghost case. Leonard suddenly raises his hand and says that it is his doing. Leonard tells everyone the story of the girls' dorm and the mysterious elevator. Leonard informs that talking about ghosts is against the rules. Miela agrees with him and promises that the offenders will be caught today. He sternly reminds everyone that they have to clean up after the student council. Melody suddenly realizes that it was at the elevator that she had planned to meet Blackie. Melody believes that the mysterious cat is hiding a lot from her, just like the mysterious academy. Melody decides to be careful because talking to the cat might make her look weird. Night falls, the lights are on in the academy, and the moon casts its shadow on the gloomy building. The clock in the building is about to strike midnight, and everything becomes terrifyingly beautiful. Melody walks down the stairs, knowing the other committee members are waiting for her. Miela drew something on the board and says that he has a plan. The girls will hide behind the dorm walls and be on the alert. If someone breaks the school rules, the girls will be right there. After catching the offender, they must give a signal to the rest of the committee members. So the entire committee will identify the offender and catch everyone who is not pleasing to the school. Melody decides to stick to the plan and hides behind the walls of the building. As we understand, Sunbae is some kind of a dress, since a certain girl addresses Melody this way. She is Kira, and she is a first year and a committee member, the youngest of all the other committee members. Diana couldn't come because she had a bad cold. Melody is glad that she will be able to work with fewer people. Melody decides to hide in the lobby and asks Kira to hide too. Kira suddenly wants to ask Melody something. Melody is curious about what Kira wants to know from her, and she turns sharply to her. Kira is delighted with her. She is also glad that the girl is Raven Hastings' older sister. Melody doesn't suspect anything. She sees that not everyone thinks Raven is such a weirdo. Kira thinks that Melody and Raven are quite different from each other and not alike at all. Kira tells a surprised Melody that Raven looks like a crazy demon, but here she is, Melody. Melody looks more like a cute rabbit or other herbivorous animal. Melody decides to find out the reason for Raven's nickname, Beethoven. It turns out that some high school students decided to make fun of Raven. They decided to have Raven bring them an expensive pen. It so happened that Raven's gaze fell on the director, who was passing by with a folder of papers. The situation was such that only the director had a Parker pen. When Raven decided to pick up the pen and explain that the seniors had asked for it, the madness began. The director looked at the Raven very menacingly, his eyes almost bulging out of their sockets, and his face was gloomy. His cry echoed throughout the academy that the students were bullying each other. When the bullying became more severe and Raven could no longer fight back against the villains, Raven organized a union to fight for the rights of schoolchildren. Few students agreed to join the union, but Raven didn't give up and continued to fight for his rights, which exhausted him. In the end, the aristocrats were punished, and Raven received a seat on the student council as compensation from the school. Melody listens carefully to everything Kira told her. Melody is glad that Raven didn't do anything stupid. Even the crush of the manhwa, the director, spoke out against bullying and violence. And Raven expressed his protest against violence in numerous papers. Melody thinks her brother is absolutely amazing, and she will never be able to compare to him. Kira thinks that Melody is happy when talking about her brother, and Melody is happy that the school has a good principal. Suddenly, something happens and Melody comes out of her thoughts. Kira almost missed her shift and it's already 9 o'clock. She's flying at full speed because she's late. The girls climb the stairs. There are only 10 minutes left until curfew. 8:50. Blackie should be here any minute. The lift slowly creaks and moves. Footsteps are heard. It rises higher and higher. Footsteps are heard. Someone is walking up the stairs, getting closer and closer to the heroine. Melody decides to be on guard. She jumps out of her hiding place and the manhwa ends. Who will Melody meet? Will she catch Raven?